Bengals improved to 9-4 on the season after beating the Cleveland Browns 23-10 today. It was a big win for the Bengals for a number of reasons, but most notably because this is a team that the Bengals had not beaten in a while, and you could tell this one meant something to them. And by beating the Browns, they stay neck and neck with the Baltimore Ravens for this AFC divisional title, which the Bengals could very much control their own destiny, and depending on what happens with the Ravens and what happens with the Bengals over the next couple of weeks, the Bengals could potentially host a playoff game if they are able to win out and win the division, but we'll see what happens there because Baltimore has the leg up right now with more division wins and, of course, the win over the Bengals. But those two teams meet in the final week of the season. But more about today, the Bengals were dealt a short hand on offense. Head coach Zach Taylor said he found out that Higgins in pre-warm-ups re-aggravated his hamstring. He was on the injury report all week with a hamstring injury, but on Friday, Zach Taylor said he was good to go. Well, things changed during the warm-ups, so Zach Taylor had to reformulate his game plan. He said he held a staff meeting at noon, and they put together a plan knowing that they probably weren't going to have Higgins for most of the game. Then, as the game started, on the second play, the team also lost Tyler Boyd. He suffered a dislocated finger. We don't know the timeline for his return right now, but the Bengals were going to have to win this game without Boyd and without Higgins, so it was going to be a heavy dose of Jamar Chase, and like he always does, he lived up to it another day with 10 catches for over 100 yards. At this point, he's just making it look so easy. There was a touchdown play between Burrow and Chase in that first half that looked about as good as any touchdown play those two have ever had, just when you're looking at the timing and rhythm of that. But they also had other players like we've seen all season long. Trent Taylor and Trenton Irwin stepping up, making big plays. Burrow was protected for most of the game, only 2 sacks allowed by the offensive line, so they continued to play at a high level. And Joe Mixon, good in his return, almost 100 rushing yards, and P. Ryan was also a key part of the offense today. So the Bengals offense found a way, and that's what you've got to feel excited about with the Cincinnati team, because it seems like over the last month they've been dealt some adversity, but they have found a way to continue to operate and perform at a high level. On the other side of the ball, you could say that this game was won by the Bengals defense, because in games past they've really struggled against Nick Chubb, and today he was basically a non-factor. Cincinnati did a fantastic job bottling up Chubb, keeping him under 40 rushing yards and only 6 yards in the second half. Taylor said that was a huge reason this team was able to win. Logan Wilson led the team in tackles, and Jesse Bates had a huge interception that really changed since Cleveland was gaining some momentum, and it was Bates' interception that really put a halt to that. But across the board, DJ Reader continuing to have a Pro Bowl caliber season up front, batting passes down. It was just a complete team performance. And then have to give some praise to the rookie Cam Taylor-Britt making the play on 4th down in the end zone over there. The Browns were driving, and it looks like if they scored a touchdown, this might be a closer game, and it was Taylor-Britt who knocked the ball loose on that 4th down to really eliminate Cleveland's ability to get back in this game. So it was a complete team win, and that's what you've got to like about what the Bengals are doing right now. They're playing well on the defensive side of the ball and the offensive side of the ball, and they're finding ways. They took advantage of their 2-game homestand here at Paycor Stadium, and that's important because now they hit the road to play the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, Tom Brady, next Sunday afternoon, CBS's game of the week. And then the following week after that, a big contest in the AFC in New England. That'll be a good one on Christmas Eve. So hopefully the Bengals give all of their fans a nice Christmas present. But before we talk about that game, there'll be more on Cincinnati.com for more coverage of just how this Bengals team was able to beat the Browns today. So be sure to check out Cincinnati.com for everything you want to know about this game.